Fields are swaying like dancers in the moonlight. Rivers filled with dreams unbroken as new promises. Descend to me, soon my disarray. So
Thank you guys for coming out tonight, man. How's your holidays going so far? All good? Awesome. Well, for those of you who have no idea what you're looking at, I am Sully from the Boston area, actually. Yep. Grew up in Lawrence, rugged little town, man. All good, whatever. It was tough growing up there, whatever, but it taught me a lot of things, man, and I think one of the biggest things that it taught me was how much I appreciate music. And I think that's what the whole theme of this evening is really about, man, is that even though I went through some really difficult times growing up, I had music, I had music behind me as my bloodline. My dad is here tonight, actually. Hi, Dad. But trumpet player, still owns and is the conductor of the Northeast Italian band that does all your Northeast feasts surrounding the Italian feasts. You guys go to them? Yeah, that's him, marching around. And so it was really interesting, to learn so much about the history of me in my music, because my great uncle was actually a famous composer in Sicily, and so that was really interesting to find out recently in my life. Growing up in a place like New England, how many people are actually from here? I want to know. So you get it. Yeah, we're hard-working people, right? I mean, nothing comes easy here, man. But it was cool, and there was some weird times and some real tough struggles or whatever, but when I found that I had this gift, man, and music really saved my life at times. I truly believe that. I believe it kept me out of jail or dead, because I was home practicing when people were out doing the really bad stuff. And of course, as I got into my teen years and all that stuff, and just playing for bands or whatever, I spent most of my life being a drummer, really. But it wasn't until about 1995, after being a drummer since I was, I think, 3 and a half, I started taking lessons. And in 1995, I reached out to a mutual friend of my sister's named Robbie Merrill, who's still in Godspeed today. And I said, hey, I'm going to start a band. He was immediately in. I'm like, I'm in the band. He had known me as a drummer and really had respected me in that aspect of things or whatever. Until I told him that I was actually not going to play the drums, I was going to sing. And that's when the phone fell and he'd drop down every step on the way down to the basement or whatever, and I heard him sing. And I said, no, really, I'm going to try to do this thing. I've been learning some guitar chords and, blah, blah, blah. And I'm going to do this my way. I got really tired of listening to other people's directions and failing over and over again, hoping that was going to be the band that got signed and never did. So we put this band together, and it was really cool. And we recorded all the music. We did our first demo, and it was really cool up until the point where I finished the drum tracks, they finished all the music, and then I stepped into the vocal booth. And it wasn't fucking pretty, I'm gonna tell you right now. I was so bad at this, that actually when I sang the first sentence in the song, I watched Robbie rock right out of the fucking studio. I was totally watching this leave the studio. I'm like, wow, yeah, so that's how my vocal career started, but I started paying attention at that point and looking up to people and learning from people that inspired me along the way, like James Hetfield and Steven Tyler, who I really respect as well. So I took a little bit of this and a little bit of that and kind of made my own thing, and here we are. But I'm telling you this story because a lot of people write to me and ask me questions about Godsmack, and mainly it's all be like, oh, it must be amazing to be this rock star guy or whatever, and I'm going you don't even know the half of it because you see us maybe an hour and a half on stage, and there's 23 hours in a day that it's really difficult, and what happened was once the band got signed, we were on the road for quite a while. The first record did really great thanks to people like yourselves, because we kicked off here at and it did really well, but it did so well that it kept us on the road, and we actually wrote the second record while we were touring on the first record and then just released that one. So by the time we were done both album cycles, I don't remember seeing my bed for over 3 years at that point. And what that created was a lot of exhaustion. We were doing 7 shows in a row with 1 day off, and 9 shows in a row with 1 day off, 11 shows in a row, 1 day off. And it really becomes taxing on your body and on your psyche. And so what do? You start medicating, you start drinking, and some drugs and whatever. And that creates a lot of pain. It creates a lot of pain, and it gets the band fighting. And we were so close to breaking up so many times. that there was times where I would sit in my dressing room for 2 weeks at least on tour and never see my band because I just would wait for them to go to the stage before I even left my dressing room because we were just fighting so bad and we were so close to breaking up. But luckily, long story short, this is the end of it. We actually I feel we did the right thing instead of the wrong thing, and instead of being selfish like a lot of bands do when they get to that place where it's really tough to stay together and just break up and have no consideration for the music or the fans or for yourselves, we went out and we did what I think is the right thing. We went and got some help, and today the band is doing great. We're happy, we're healthy. So thank you for sticking it out with us. We really appreciate it. But I told you this story real quick because I want to play you a song that's been really near and dear to my heart over the years, and it's a song that I kind of wrote in the dressing room during some of those really dark times when the band wasn't doing so well and we thought it was going to be the end of that stuff, and I was feeling very isolated and alone. So this is a song called Running Blind.